Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. Another week and yet another video about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. This time, they went through a sizable portion of the voice cast. And so we have a much better idea about what kind of talent is going to be involved in the game. And there are definitely some surprises in the list. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the feedback on this video. I'm going to go through them one by one and tell you a little bit about who they're playing, along with telling you where are some places you can go to see more work from these actors and actresses. And when available, I'll try to give you some information about what heritage they come from or what place they come from, so you can see the wide diversity of talent that's going to be available in the game. I think it's really, really cool. Needless to say, we're going to keep more Bloodlines 2 content coming on the channel. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell to make sure you don't miss any future videos. And with that, let's just go ahead and get started. All right, so first up is your main character, Phyre, and you have two choices. You can be the male or female version. First up is the female version.
None of you will survive.
Now, she's played by Hara Yanis, who is from London. You might recognize her voice as Cassavora Dofir from Baldur's Gate 3. She also voiced Athena in the Age of Mythology Retold game and Tenor in Expeditions Rome. If you choose the male version, you'll get a different voice.
I am beyond any power in Seattle.
And he is Tommy Saman. Now, he has English and Iraqi heritage, and you might recognize him as Orpheus from Baldur's Gate 3. And he played a bunch of other characters from that game as well. He was also the voice of Sargon in Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, and he played Cassius in Expeditions Rome. Coming up next, we have the Malkavian noir detective who's also a voice in your head, Fabian.
Busy night. Cops, ghouls, detectives, mysterious flying strangers. All we need now is a full-on musical number.
Fabian is voiced by Ronan Summers, and he's of Irish, Russian, and American descent. You can see him in the movie Halloween, where he plays a killer clown called Carl Kane. He was also Ryan, the ultimate jungle fantasy in Dead Island. He's been in a few other games as well, including Payday 3 and Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. Next up, we have the Ventru Lou Graham, who is also the former Camarilla Prince of Seattle.
Quite extraordinary, the number of sins you can blame on mental health these days, but still. The kindred responsible will be held to account. You can be sure of that.
Lou is voiced by Jane Perry, who has British and Canadian heritage, and many of you might recognize her voice as Diana Burnwood from the Hitman series. She also voiced Mistra in Baldur's Gate 3, and she was also in Dead Take, which is a first-person psychological horror game created by Surgeon Studios, where she plays Leah Kane. Neil Newbon was also heavily involved in this game. Coming up next, we have the Nosferatu Herald, Michael Tolly Tolliver.
Looking good, Phyre. Actually, forget it. I'm trying to give up lying for Christmas. You look like shit.
Tolly is voiced by David Menken, and he's both Norwegian American and British. He was in the recent Heads of State Prime movie where he played the Beast Driver. He was also a voice actor in Final Fantasy XVI, playing Barnabas Throm. He's also been in a few other games, including Dustborn, The First Descendant, and Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Next up, we have the Tremere Safia Olusoy, a researcher of Thin Bloods.
I mean, I've read about the Nomad. About you. The records, the stories. Oh, you're everything they say.
Safia is voiced by Amrita Acharya, and she is of Nepalese and Ukrainian heritage. As far as I can tell, she's new to voice acting, so welcome. I hope this first time around goes well for you. You can see her in The Serpent Queen, where she plays Abyss, and she was also in The Good Karma Hospital, a show that was shot in Sri Lanka, which I think is super cool, and in that series, she played Dr. Ruby Walker. Coming up next, we have the Ventru Seneschal, Ryong Choi.
Can't put it off forever. Tolly, get me the Linden perfume.
I can't reek of thin blood when I tell her it's under control.
Choi is played by Kai Alexander, who is of both British and Japanese heritage. And again, as far as I can tell, she's new to voice acting. So welcome and wishing you luck. You can see her work in Wheel of Time, where she plays Min Farshaw, and she was in Game of Thrones as Leaf. Needless to say, this is an absolutely bananas makeup job. That show deserved all of the awards that it received. Coming up next, we have the Bruja anarchist leader, Katsumi Ishizaka.
From here to Atlanta, thin bloods are hunted down, staked, burned to ash. It's not a fucking choice, it's a state of being. In Seattle, we had a truce. Or I thought we had.
Katsumi is played by Elizabeth Chan, and she's of British and Chinese heritage. Now, what makes her very interesting is she's an all year round Christmas music songwriter and performer. In fact, Mariah Carey took her to court because she was calling herself the Queen of Christmas, and Mariah wanted that title to herself. But Mariah Carey lost, and Elizabeth Chan is free to tell anyone who asks that she is indeed the Queen of Christmas music. From a voice acting perspective, you can hear her work in Dragon's Dogma 2, where she played Manila, and you can hear her in Payday 3, where she plays Shayu. Next up, we have the Toreador Primogen, Ysabella Moore.
Like a heady perfume. Oud, rose, and bergamot.
Ysabella is voiced by Joan Iola, who is of British and Nigerian heritage. You can see her in the Don't Come Here thriller, where she plays Jill Lay, and she directed a short film called Mango, along with being the main writer on a short film called Dolapo Is Fine. Next up, we have the Ventru Primogen, who is absolutely psychotic, Fletcher.
Your first time at the Macomb, and it's a doozy. What do you make of our little tableau out back? I was thinking of redecorating, but blood red is a little unsouthern.
Fletcher is voiced by Rufus Wright, who is of English heritage. You might recognize him from Star Wars Rogue One, where he played Lieutenant Casito. He also played an assortment of voices in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and he is in the Outlaws TV show, where he plays DCI Monroe. Coming up next, we have the Tremere Magister, Mrs. Amelia Thorne.
The best way to awaken your faded powers is to consume Tremere blood. You should be able to keep it down, theoretically.
Amelia is voiced by Bethan Dixon-Bate, who is from London. You might recognize her voice as Blacketh from Baldur's Gate 3. She also played an assortment of voices in Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 and Darktide. She was also in the recent Alters video game, where she played Agatha Wilson. Coming up next, we have the Bruja Primogen, Simeon Silky Laydock.
Well now, not many unknowns come strolling in here so boldly, especially amongst the heartbeat challenged.
Silky is voiced by Alan Turkington, who is of British and Irish heritage. You can see his work in Dead Hot, where he plays Timothy. He was also the warden in the video game Chronos: The New Dawn, and you might remember him in Baldur's Gate 3 as Adept Forak. Next on the list, we have the Banu Hakim Primogen, Niko Angelov.
I source items the prince needs. Keep my ears open for what's happening in the city. And sometimes I help bring a reckoning to those that deserve it.
Niko is voiced by Martin Raspopov, who is of Bulgarian and British descent. He, as far as I can tell, is new to voice acting, but you might recognize him briefly from Black Widow, where he plays a tattoo gulag inmate. Now, some of you may laugh at me bringing this up, but let's keep it a band. This man has been around Scarlett Johansson in person, and he's in a scene with David Harbour, all right? So he absolutely, I'm sure, holds his head up with pride when he talks about playing the tattoo inmate in Black Widow. And he also was in The Kingsman, where he played the Sarajevo prison warden. Next up, we have the Toreador, Patience Boswell. Unfortunately, I don't know anything else about this character.
Hey, new kid, take a look. Drink it in. I think the color balance is off. Maybe it needs another femur?
Patience is voiced by Billy Peck, who is a trans man from London. This is, as far as I can tell, his first voice acting gig. So again, welcome, and I hope it goes great. Billy was trained at the East 15 Acting School in London. Next on the list is the La Sombra Onda Cardosa.
Strange to see an elder with just a hint of lost puppy. Maybe you need someone to bring you to heel.
Onda is voiced by Jamila Ocasio, and she is both Puerto Rican and Trinidadian. She was in the Garfield movie as part of a Loop group, and she has done some voice acting in Onrush and Guitar Hero Live. Next on the list, we have the Unbound Bruja, Max Weber.
Katsumi figured you'd show up. Turns out one of her followers made it out. And Katsumi thinks the girl might know something you need.
Max is played by Osi Akal, who is Nigerian. You might recognize him from two of the most famous episodes in Black Mirror, where he played Nate Parker. He has also had roles in Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, Payday 3, and Dying Light 2 Stay Human. Next up is the Nosferatu Keeper of Secrets, William Axel.
They said I could see my family again. It would cause the chaos he needed to strike, and I'd be free.
William is voiced by Richard Brake, who is Welsh American. You might recognize him from Game of Thrones, where he at one point played the Night King before his recast to a different person. He also had a recurring role as Merle Callahan in The Mayor of Kingstown. He's voice acted a few times, but not in anything notable. However, those of you who are old school video game fans might recognize him as Portman from the Doom movie. Next, we have the Bruja Sheriff, Benny Muldoon.
What kind of cocksucking shoe-shine answer is that? Better start wriggling, little fish. It's about to get real dry.
Benny is voiced by Patrick O'Kane, who is Irish. He was in Star Wars Episode 8 The Last Jedi as Hux's First Order officer. He was also in Doctor Who as Cyberman Ashad, and from a voice acting perspective, many of you might recognize him from Dark Souls 2 as Grave Warden Agdane. Next, we have the Malkavian Gideon Hall.
Poor kid. One day selling salvation from a box, the next, poof, gone. Forgotten, buried. But isn't that the way of our world?
Gideon is voiced by Alec Newman, who is Scottish. You might recognize him as Paul Atreides from the Dune miniseries. From a voice acting perspective, he was also in Cyberpunk Edge Runners, where he played none other than Adam Smasher in a fantastic role. He also did work in Star Wars Outlaws as Sarat Nuat, and in a game many of you have reached out to me about and tried to get me to play, he was in Vampire as Benjamin. Maybe one day I will go ahead and circle back to that one. There was one other voice that was mentioned in the video, and that's the Bed of Night radio station. Amanda Huddleston is going to be voicing that, but I couldn't find any information about her, or at least not any information where I felt confident I was looking at the right person. So unfortunately, I can't tell you anything about her work or where to find her, but I will let you hear what's available in the video.
I just love when you turn me on, Seattle, and you know just how to do it. So I won't keep you waiting any longer.
And that's it. That's the full list of voices that we've at least been alerted to, but they did make it clear at the end of the video that there are more voices in the game. So it's totally possible that there are some cool surprises we're not even aware of. Regardless, this is a really cool, interesting, and diverse list of voices for us to enjoy. And so I'm hoping when we get into the game, the voice acting is a part that is really, really strong. Once again, if you enjoy this, I would highly recommend you subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss any content, hit that like button so I know that you enjoyed the video, and if you want to support the channel, there are links down below for you to become a member or join the Patreon. More Bloodlines 2 content coming soon. Hope all of you enjoyed this video. Take care.